She was called the world's youngest transsexual, turned down by major labels, and yet, she became a pop icon. This is the untold story of Kim Petras, the German girl who refused to follow the rules. Kim Petras was born in Cologne, Germany, in 1992. From a young age, she knew she was different. By age 2, she told her parents she was a girl. The media found her when she was just 12, appearing in TV documentaries about gender identity. Germany watched as Kim transitioned. At 16, she became one of the youngest people to undergo gender confirmation surgery. But this wasn't the end of her story, it was just the beginning. Major labels said no. Radio stations refused to play her music. She was told her identity was too complicated. So Kim did what most people wouldn't. She built her career online, one song at a time. Her 2017 breakout single, I Don't Want It At All, went viral on Spotify. With no major label behind her, she became a queer pop sensation. Paris Hilton even appeared in her music video, a moment that echoed Kim's obsession with Y2K culture and glam excess. Between 2018 and 2020, Kim Petras released a series of mixtapes and singles that defined her style. Catchy, unapologetic pop full of attitude. Her 2019 project, Clarity, showed the world she was more than just viral sparkle. Tracks like Heart to Break and Personal Hell proved her versatility. Then came Turn Off the Light, a dark, Halloween-inspired album that blended pop with horrorcore. It became a cult favorite and showcased Kim's fearless creativity. She wasn't just singing, she was building a world. In 2022, everything changed. Kim teamed up with Sam Smith for the song Unholy. The track exploded, topping the charts in over 20 countries and racking up more than 1 billion streams. In 2023, Kim made history as the first transgender woman to win a Grammy in the Best Pop Duo/Group Performance category. She took the stage, emotional, thanking the incredible transgender legends before me who kicked these doors open. After releasing her first songs as an independent artist, Kim Petras didn't let rejection from major record labels bring her down. Instead, she focused on creating authentic music that connected with her audience. Over time, Kim began to experiment, shaping her style with influences from classic pop and electronic music. 1. Early success and going viral. 2017. I Don't Want It At All. Kim's first major viral moment came with this track, which became a hit on streaming platforms. The song had strong appeal for being extremely catchy while reflecting a luxurious, over-the-top lifestyle. Kim began gaining attention for her bold lyrics and flashy style, bringing her into the spotlight as a boundary-pushing pop singer. I Don't Want It At All was released completely independently, without the support of a record label. This reflected the DIY nature of her career and her ability to reach listeners directly through social media and Spotify. 2. Success with mixtapes and collaborations. Following her initial success, Kim took a bold path by releasing her mixtape Turn Off the Light in 2018. The project had a unique concept, blending Halloween and horror elements with pop. This helped establish her distinct musical identity, setting her apart from most contemporary pop artists. The mixtape was a hit with both fans and critics, praised for its boldness and for Kim's ability to fuse the sweet, glossy side of pop with darker, eccentric tones. Tracks like There Will Be Blood and Tell Me It's a Nightmare became anthems for a young, alternative generation. She also stood out through collaborations with other artists like Paris Hilton and Blondie, which boosted her visibility in pop media. Her collaboration with Paris Hilton in the I Don't Want It At All music video was especially iconic, showing Kim's deep connection to Y2K culture, full of glamour and excess. 3. Rejection from labels and building an independent name. Despite her growing popularity, record labels were slow to recognize Kim Petras's potential. Many in the industry thought she was too bold and outside the mold of traditional pop. However, Kim was persistent. Her journey is a perfect example of how self-reliance on social media, combined with high-quality music production, can turn an independent artist into a global superstar. She leveraged platforms like Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram to build a dedicated and engaged fanbase, allowing her to create a solid career without relying on the traditional structures of the music industry. 4. Impact and recognition. The turning point for Kim Petras came in 2019, when she finally gained recognition from the industry. She was invited to open for major acts like Troye Sivan and Kesha, which further boosted her visibility in the mainstream pop scene. This solidified her place as an innovative artist with a unique vision in the music market. Kim Petras has always been a polarizing figure, both for her music and her position as a trans woman in the pop music industry. Her career has not been free of controversy, much of it tied to her identity, bold musical choices, and her interactions with other artists and the media. 1. The music industry and initial rejection. When Kim first began gaining attention, record labels and music executives were often skeptical of her potential, partly due to her identity as a trans woman. Many believed she would be seen only as a niche figure, placing her in a challenging position. Breaking stereotypes. Her rise was marked by a constant struggle to be recognized for her talent, not just her trans identity. The ongoing need to prove her worth in an industry that has historically been difficult for trans artists was a challenge she met with determination. 2. Criticism around representation and commercialization. Another significant challenge came in the form of criticism about the commercialization of her identity. As Kim became more visible in the mainstream, some questioned whether she was being used by the industry to sell a narrative of trans liberation to a broader audience. The media often focused more on her gender identity than her musical work. She also faced criticism for a perceived lack of political depth in some of her messaging, with some arguing that she wasn't doing enough to use her platform to support broader social and political issues affecting the trans community. This tension between being a pop artist and a social activist was something Kim had to constantly navigate. 3. Controversies over collaborations and public criticism. Collaborating with controversial artists, Kim was criticized for working with artists who had been involved in controversies, including those accused of cultural appropriation or other problematic behavior. These collaborations often sparked debates over how closely she should associate with polarizing figures. Media commentary. She also had to contend with remarks from public figures and media outlets that saw her merely as a trans sensation rather than a complete, multifaceted artist. This kind of stigma remained a persistent obstacle throughout her journey. 4. The personal struggle against expectations. Still, in interviews, Kim has been open about her personal journey, including the hardships of being a trans woman in the music industry. She has never shied away from being a representative figure, but she has also remained a true artist, consistently committed to creating authentic and heartfelt music that reflects her own lived experience. Kim Petras's legacy is one of the most powerful in contemporary pop music, especially for the trans community and for artists seeking to break free from the traditional molds of the industry. Her impact goes beyond music. It is cultural, social, and political. 1. A trans pop pioneer. First transgender woman to win a Grammy, Kim Petras made history in 2023 by winning the Grammy for Best Pop Duo/Group Performance for her collaboration with Sam Smith on Untold. This milestone was hugely significant for trans visibility in music, proving that trans artists can not only be part of the mainstream music industry, but also win major awards and recognition. Breaking barriers in pop music. Kim has become a central figure for many young people in the LGBTQ+ community, especially trans youth. She proved that being trans doesn't have to be a barrier to stardom. On the contrary, it can be a source of strength and authenticity. Kim built a diverse, global fan base, and her career has helped pave the way for other trans artists who followed. 2. Representation and visibility. Visibility for trans artists. Kim was one of the first trans artists to break through the traditional barriers of pop and gain mainstream visibility. She showed the world that it's possible to be trans and a pop star, with a strong identity and without having to hide who you are. Creating spaces for empowerment. Over the years, Kim has become an advocate for self-empowerment, acceptance, and the freedom to be your true self. Her work has made many people in the trans community feel that they, too, have a place in pop music, something that was incredibly rare before. 3. Cultural impact. Influence on musical style and pop aesthetics. Musically, Kim blended genres, bringing a unique approach to pop with elements of dance, horror, and electronic music. Her album Clarity and her mixtape Turn Off the Light became reference points for other artists and helped shape a bolder, more experimental subgenre of pop. Visual and fashion influence. Her visual aesthetic, neon, glitter, and Y2K-inspired subcultural references, established her as a style icon in the pop world. The way she visually presented herself also helped redefine how LGBTQ+ individuals saw themselves represented in media. 4. The next generation of artists. A model of authenticity, Kim Petras didn't just rise to fame, she became a role model for the next generation of artists, showing that no matter your identity, what matters most is staying true to yourself. She demonstrated that real strength comes from refusing to conform and choosing your own path. Boundless musical exploration. Her constant experimentation with different musical styles and refusal to be boxed into one genre makes her a symbol of musical evolution. Her legacy is, without a doubt, that of someone who pushed the boundaries of what it means to be a modern pop artist. Kim Petras's rise to stardom, the challenges she faced, and the cultural impact she's made all come together to make her story both unique and inspiring. She's not just a pop singer, she's a trailblazer, breaking barriers and becoming an icon for future generations.